Alright guys, so today we're going to do the 034 Motorsport Rear Strut Mount. This part I have not really seen any guys do in particular that I know. I didn't search the tube to find anything on this because I wanted the most unbiased opinion that I could. So, where this goes, it's up top. So, first thing I did with a T25 Torx is I took off all the snaps for this. We're going to take this wheel well shroud out so we can get up in there, and then we'll go from there. Once again, I'm doing this on my own to kind of prove to you guys that I don't just sit here and let everyone else turn wrenches, that I do have a part in the installation process of everything in my cars, and to show you that, you know, anybody can do this. I'm no mechanic myself, but I have turned some wrenches in the past, and I like to do all my own shit, or at least be a part of it, so I know exactly what happened, what modifications need to be made as far as fabrication goes and whatnot. So I'll do this again, just like the blow-off valve, and we'll go from here. So let me take this shroud out and let's see what's going on under there. Yeah? Alright guys, so to get the shroud out, there's a shitload of these Torque 25s. They pretty much line the whole inner side. And then there's one on the bottom here that goes underneath the car that I didn't see till last minute, but there's easily 10 different ones you got to get out to get this out. So, from the looks of it, that's going to be a cocksucker. This is probably going to have to come out on this side. Looks like there's a bolt down here, and from what I can tell, it's pretty loose up top, so that might be the only bolt holding this in. So we're going to take that out so that we can get to this back bolt here, and then we're going to take these out. Alright guys, so I took this out here. This was a 13mm bolt. Pop that out, and then this just literally pulled down a little bit, and then there's enough hanging up there. You put it in this little corner here and keep it up. But we wanted to expose this bolt right here, so we're going to take these two out next. So I got this out. It's just two 16mm bolts. I did wind up using the gun because my wrench didn't have a long enough length for the torque to get those out. So hopefully you don't have to do that if you don't have a gun around. But other than that, came out really easy. Then this, you could just compress down, pull out. I decided for the sake of ease, we're going to take out this one too. Alright, so this bottom bolt here was an 18mm, and then I use an 18mm wrench on the other side to hold it still. And then it just slides through. Then you can use just your arms to compress it and just pull that. Alright, and then we're going to be taking off this top piece. So it looks like we're going to need like a flat head here to pop this cap off. Alright guys, so I did just that. Took my flat head, popped this little cap off the top. It was a 16mm to get this off. I put the back end in the vise here so that it wouldn't spin underneath the pressure. This just slides off. Right, we had to get the gun out to get this off at the top because just hand wrenching it wouldn't spin it quick enough. So just slides off, and then we're gonna take this boot off of here, cut this off, and then it's just a zip tie. I'll put a new zip tie on the other one. Hold it back in, put it back on, tighten everything back up, and slide her on back in. So when you take your sheathing off here that the zip tie holds on, there's going to be this foam grommet piece in here. That's going to be transitioned over to the other one. Where's my new one at? There it is. Alright. So put the new one at your top side. So this is just going back in here. Make sure it's straight. And then your sheath is just going back over top, and then you're just zip tying it back around this part here. So this just slides back in, put it on straight, and then you put your nut back on here. And then I've pretty much figured out that the gun is the way to go. There's just no way to hand get it because you can't go quick enough for it to grab. So, and then you gotta hold this. You gotta hold that from spinning. We got this one on. There's no left or right. They're both the same, so you can put whatever one on which side. And that's that. So then before you put it back on, don't forget you got your cap. So, cap. Push your cap back in, and that's that. Put it back in the car. Let's get it. So then after this is on, we're just gonna suppress it and feed it on back through. Just how we took it off. And that's pretty much it. And then I'll show you the finished product, and we'll go do the other side, make sure everything's the same, and go drive it around and see if it changed anything. I doubt it's going to change much that I'm going to notice it, but we shall see. This side should be pretty easy. Just take these two bolts out, and we're going to go through the whole process again, so it doesn't look like there's anything in the way on the left side of the car, so we're good. So when you're putting these bolts back in, it's easiest to kind of put one in like semi-tight, not like kind of leave it loose, because the other one you're gonna have to maneuver this to make sure you can line it up. I learned the hard way on the first one, and then after they're both in, then you can cinch them down. So finally, we're gonna put back in our wheel well shroud, and then we're gonna put the wheel back on, and that's it, guys. We're done driving around. Enjoy it. All right, guys. So I've been driving around for about a day now on the rear strut mounts. I absolutely love them. Definitely, probably one of the better, let's say, cheapy parts that you can get for this car, in my opinion. So how I feel about them is they give you a very similar feel to a stiffer sway bar in the rear. But it's kind of different because you're not, basically it takes the body roll out of the ass end, and they're not fighting against each other though. So in terms of, you know, having that extremely rough ride and the wheels kind of fighting each other to come off the ground on uneven surfaces and whatnot, you're not getting that with these, because you're not actually putting your stiff sway bar in there, but you're eliminating in my opinion a decent amount of the body roll, especially in the rear. Takes bumps a little stiffer, however when you do hit bumps it recovers a lot quicker than the stock strut mount. So I like that about it too. Now I don't want to say for sure that it helped with traction at all, but it does feel a little bit more planted when doing a pull. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess it's helping with the squat, so it feels like it just feels less weighed down, I guess you could say, on a pull. So that I was not expecting, but I'm cool with that. But I would say hands down, probably one of the better. You know, they're $40 a piece, so $80 altogether. I mean, in my opinion, they help just as much as the dog bone did for $40. So I would say I recommend them. I don't see why not doing them. I guess the negative side to them is you get a little bit more road noise when you do hit those harder bumps. Like you'll hear, I mean, without any radio or anything going on, if the car is completely silent inside, it'll sound like a little bit harder hit on the back. But as soon as you turn any type of music on or you know, any sound in general, you can't really hear it. So in terms of driving, just regular road noise, I don't feel it increased that at all. Just when you hit those stiff bumps, you know, you're getting a short punch rather than that like kind of it's hard to explain, but I love them. So I recommend them. $80 well spent. So go out there and try them. Installation is super easy, as you saw. Honestly, there's no reason to even have the lift. You could easily do this in your driveway. I would say tops an hour, even if you don't know what you're doing, just by looking at it. Especially if you're following this video, 45 minutes to an hour, you should be good to go, done. Great piece by 034 Motorsport. I think it's a little underrated because you don't see a lot of guys running it at all, or hear about it often. But I say if you are looking for a cheaper option for very similar results to a rear sway bar, go for these. $80, well spent. Do it. And if you're also looking for an improvement over the body roll in the back, but you're not looking to do some kind of brace inside the car, or like I said, the rear sway bar, because the rear sway bar, you're going to get a lot of other stiffness elsewhere too, because like I said, the wheels at that point are fighting against each other. So if one wheel goes up, if you have a stiffer sway bar, the other wheel is going to want to come up at the same rate, whereas you can keep the stock sway bar with the looser tension, throw these babies in there, and a lot of that body roll will go away without suffering the effects of a sway bar. So yeah, definitely try those out. If you guys like the video, like what you see here, definitely subscribe, drop a like down below. Any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm pretty good at answering those, so I'll get right back to you as soon as I can. And as always, keep on dubbing.